Hello, welcome back to another video. We're about a month away until the Champions League returns, so today I thought I'd take a little kind of first draft at the round of 16, where we effectively get a wild card where we can make unlimited transfers before the first leg of the round of 16. Obviously, because we're a month away, there will be changes made to this team, but I thought I'd just explain my thoughts kind of as a first look. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you do enjoy the video, and let's get straight on into this one. So first things first, we'll be considering the attack. Firstly, Olivier Giroud, if he's still kind of leading the line for Chelsea, I think at 7.5 million, he offers great value for them. We've got Morata in there, who's been playing unbelievably well for Juventus, coming in at 9 million. He's been really solid, especially in the Champions League so far this season. That Neymar spot as the kind of third attacker could really be filled by anyone from Lewandowski to Haaland to Messi to Mbappe. I've got Neymar in there for now, but obviously due to change depending on certain things that may happen. But that's kind of how I'm first starting to kind of line my attack up. A nice kind of budget option in there with Giroud and Morata, who's been ticking along in the Champions League very nicely, and that final spot obviously to be filled by one of the big boys. Then moving on down into the midfield, and I've got Diogo Jota in there to start with. Obviously he still currently does have an injury, and that Diogo Jota spot is kind of just a Liverpool placeholder. I would really like some kind of Liverpool attacker. Maybe I could get Bobby Firmino in there at some point, although his returns aren't too great. Maybe you can upgrade to Mane or Salah, but if Jota is back, which he looks to kind of hopefully be due back for when the Champions League returns, then he could definitely go in there. Or Thiago, who Liverpool fans absolutely are loving, could slip in there as well. We've got Danilo, who provides that kind of Barrios-esque midfielder, maybe for a little bit more expensive, but he's about 5.9 million. Gets some really good ball recovery points, and that's really all we're expecting. He'll tick over between 4 and 6 points, depending on whether PSG get the clean sheet, so he gets 1 point for that, and how many balls recovered he gets. He's kind of just a rotation player that will pick up a nice 3 or 4 pointers if you're kind of one of your big players or one of the other players does blank. Then we've got Mason Mount in there as well. You can see we're kind of doubling up already on Chelsea players, but this is kind of, they're more enabling players, I'd say. Mason Mount is more of a kind of deep lying midfielder for Chelsea. He's really come into favour with Frank Lampard. He'll pick up maybe, the odd clean sheet point and some balls recovered points, but he does actually have a decent potential as well to get some attacking returns. And for 7 million, I do not mind him at all. Stick around for the bench to see what other options we go for in the midfield. These guys are in there to start with because of the way the fixtures lie, and that is one thing I would definitely say. Because of the way the fixtures go in the round of 16, you're going to have so many chances to change your captaincies, a lot of chances to bring on subs to make sure your bench is full of good players, which we will come to. Then taking a look at the defence, and with my limited knowledge of playing the UCL kind of fantasy football game, I found that defenders are very good options in the UCL fantasy. They seem to be getting a lot of points, and week by week can easily get as many points as the attackers, if not more, and tend to be more reliable as well. I did have Trent in there for Liverpool, but I've heard news recently that Kimmich has recovered from injury. I look back to last season when I was playing the UCL fantasy, and Kimmich was an unbelievable option in both the UCL fantasy and the Bundesliga fantasy, so I have to have Kimmich in there for the same price. Maybe I'll find a way of bringing in Trent come the deadline, but for now he is out. And we've also got Benjamin Pavard with the double up for Bayern Munich. They're playing against Lazio. Lazio have been good, to be fair to them. However, it's Bayern Munich. I expect them to go quite far, so I think that's definitely something you have to consider as well. Although you do get quite a few transfers in between the round of 16 and the quarterfinals, and the semi-finals, and obviously if some of you have your wildcards, your limitless wildcards, and so on, you'll be able to make plenty of changes. But it's definitely something to consider to try and pick the teams that you think are going to go through to the next round. Then we have Marquinhos for PSG against Barcelona. Marquinhos loves to pick up the odd goal. He loves to pick up plenty of ball recovery, so I'm quite comfortable having him in there as well. Barcelona this year also seemed like a bit of a disjointed scene. We saw Lionel Messi pick up his first ever red card for Barcelona the other day. What was he thinking? Just absolutely colliding the guy over the head. But Marquinhos in there as well for PSG looks like a decent option. Then we have Savic picking up the fourth defender spot. Some of you may say, well, you've got 2 Chelsea attackers in there. Why have you got an Atletico Madrid defender in there? That's a very good question, to be fair. I think it's partly to kind of back against myself. So say Giroud and Mount don't score, I get the Savic clean sheet. And also Savic has been picking up plenty of balls recovered. So even if he does concede against Chelsea, hopefully he can pick up kind of 4 or 5 points from those balls recovered. covered. We've also got Edouard Mendy in there, and you know, triple up on Chelsea, maybe a little bit brave, but as I said before, Giroud and Mount are more enabling players, and Edouard Mendy was actually the highest scoring goalkeeper in UCL fantasy in the group stages. Now obviously things have changed, you know, in the group stages a lot of teams do play kind of easier sides, and no side who gets through to the round of 16 can you really be considered as kind of a walkover side. There's the potential to see fewer clean sheets from the round of 16 through to the final, but I still think Edouard Mendy does look like a pretty decent pick. Then finally, let's move into the bench, and I've got a bit of a chunk of money on the bench here. Firstly, I'm going to mention Sporty Yellow, who plays for Atalanta. He was their starting keeper for a period of time, so I think I'm just going to leave him in there just as a potential starting keeper who I can hopefully rotate with Mendy at points, although they do have some fixtures on the same day, so I think Mendy is just going to stay in there for now. We've got Cancelo, Müller and De Bruyne. I wanted some part of that kind of Bayern Munich attack, as I do think they look very good. And Müller at 10 million being a midfielder, he looks like a decent option. Obviously Lewandowski is more expensive. I think he's about 12 million as an attacker, and I couldn't quite fit him in, but Müller also does get the extra point for scoring a goal, being a midfielder, and just being able to kind of be a part of that Bayern Munich attack. I very much do like them. We've got Cancelo and Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne starting to get some form back. Looks unbelievable for Man City. And, you know, people are worried about Manchester City's rotation in the Champions League. They're going to be playing their best squad. It's really what Pep wants to do in his time left at Manchester City is to win the Champions League. And De Bruyne is not going to be missing out. Cancelo seems to be his kind of favoured fullback at the minute. He's starting in most games for them. Although if you did want to go for a more kind of stable, solid option, it seems like Ruben Diaz and John Stones have really cemented themselves at the back of that kind of centre-back partnership. So if you wanted to go for safety, go for John Stones or go for Diaz. But if you wanted a bit more of a kind of creative threat, I think João Cancelo looks like the one. This has just been a quick little first draft look ahead to the Champions League UCL round of 16 fantasy wildcard pick. Now obviously this team is due to change depending on, you know, what happens with COVID, if any players pick up injuries and so on and so on. So I will be releasing a more kind of up-to-date draft a week before, but just thought I'd get my thoughts out there as we are a month away. We're closing into the Champions League again. Just get my thoughts out there. If you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you did enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.